We got another F-16, and I know like YouTube is kind of saturated with them now. Don't get me wrong, I get it. But this is another pilot. You know, the first couple I had were, of course, members of my field, and kind of took off, obviously, because we got 3 people at minimum, probably more than that if I, oh, 4 if we count the guy with the jets. Yeah, so we got 4 people who have them, and they're popular, they're hot. And you recognize this character from other videos, Boost. So we're going to take it up, and he's going to do FPV. I'm going to try to do an overlay. I already have one video of his F-16, the E-Flight version with overlays needed. And my work, you know, I talk about it now and then on my videos. My work schedule is kind of treacherous, and I can't get time. But anyway, we're going to try and do better this time. So he's going to taxi out, and he's going to sit there the whole time and do his thing. Isn't that beautiful? Man, that thing is nice. So, it's a nice day out here. Sunny, pretty. We got some wind. It's slightly crossed, but should be no match for this missile. He's got a taxi down because the wind just recently shifted to the other direction, which is odd because it's usually going the other way on our field. All this week it had been, and it was today even, but he shifted right in the middle of a flight actually. Not he, but it. Sweet. Kind of bounced a little bit because our runway has a dip there, but that was awesome. So you're gonna see how smooth it was already? Like a total smooth flight when he's flying. The FPV gives him that comfortable feel of the driver's seat. Look at that. I mean, I do a lot of filming, and I would have to say he is the absolute smoothest. I mean, look at that. Directly into the fireball, so I'm gonna lose it for a minute. Come back out of it. Look at that. So pretty, so precision, so smooth. I'm gonna shut up and just let you hear the jet, man, because the flight speaks for itself. Whoa, I thought he was coming back down. Changed it up on me. Nice victory roll. Very nice. So sexy. Yeah, that was into the fireball. So if I came off frame, I'm not sure if I did or not. Sorry. Oh, look at that landing. So sweet. And the bump, of course. Reverse thrust on this jet is not the best, but it definitely stopped him from going in the grass. Last second catch. Motion RC, F-16 90mm, high speed version 8S. Look at that vertical. Sweet. Gear down, flaps down. Look at that perfect landing.
So this is my Motion RC free wing 90mm F-16 V2, and this one is converted to FPV. The parts that I'm using for it, I'm using the DJI Goggles 2 and the O3 air unit. I'm also using the Motion Sick RC BAG gimbal along with their arm sight. So it has this reflector sight right here that shows a bullseye, and that's from Motion Sick RC. I also have a FPV Toys LCD display. So that display in there, the sun is pretty bright. I don't know how well we can see it, but oh, it's in a
Yeah, I can see it, but
yeah.
it's in like a standby status. But
Yeah,
you can
that's
see
like
it
a
right
radar
there.
mode. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's the FPV Toys LCD display. This is a 6S model. I have it on a Jumper T15 radio, and I'm using Express LRS for the protocol. Wait for this plane to pass by.
Aircraft passing by, folks.
Yeah.
Southwest. Oh, not Southwest today. Somebody else. Anyway.
So yeah, this is probably maybe like my 35th flight or so. I think I probably have 15 flights today. I've flown that much. I got it all dialed in. I did some tuning on the gyro to get the gyro, the PIDs all where I want them to be. I also got the return to home. So, you know, if I fly it out and I get too far or I lose signal, I can, it'll automatically turn around and come back to me and start loitering. And that, I haven't really seen return to home on any EDF jets, but I tried it on this and it works pretty good. Inside here, I'll show you guys with the lid off. We have the fan unit. This is designed by me. This is a fan unit here that keeps the O3 air unit cool. This is the bottom of the gimbal set that just comes out the bottom. Got some quick disconnect plugs there. And inside we have the regular free wing blue box that you normally get with the model. And then I have a Maytech, I think it's the 743W Lite is the flight controller that I'm using. Have the airspeed up here, so that's a Pino tube there that's actually functional. And the GPS antenna is down underneath there in the front. Inside the nose. Flying it on an SMC 6000 4-point regular LiPo pack. So it flies pretty good. I had to move the battery all the way to the back. So normally in this model, the battery's up here and your electronics are here. So I had to reverse everything, extend the wires, and the battery is deep down in here. Now I have a pretty far back CG. The CG is so far back that when I put it in manual mode, it's almost unflyable.
Wow.
It really is. It's almost unflyable.
So the gyro is helping things along.
That much,
So
yeah.
we've been talking about this for a good minute, and your rig here is really pulling some heat off of that air unit. So you're no worries about that thing overheating with that
not at all
shroud built and everything.
Yeah, not at all. I can have it out on the runway, sitting there for a few minutes at a time, and it will not overheat at all. So that design there, I 3D printed that. I came up with that design. I tested it when I was doing the F-22, and that was probably 4 or 5 revisions of that design before I got it right. Once I got it going, you know, it needs a 40mm fan, needs to be a 20mm wide fan. brushless on 12 volts, and it'll keep the heat off of it with some heat sinks on there. It works really well. But yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of flights on it. It flies really good. I'm starting to open it up and do more acrobatic stuff. And, you know, today is a good day for testing because we don't have a whole lot of wind. And yeah, it's doing really good. Air brakes are functional in the back. So those are set on landing. I have an automatic mix. I am landing this thing with partial flaps. That seems to help out. So I'm using that on landing and takeoff. So whenever the gear is down, the flaps drop.
Gotcha.
And I probably could go down a little further if I do another like a landing mode to get more flaps in it, but that seems to be working pretty good. Landing speed's about 30 miles an hour. So yeah, it's doing good. Haven't had any major mishaps. I had a few rough landings, but for the most part, it's super easy to land.
What about those air brakes? That's doing anything for you?
It does a lot, yeah. I can tell because it has a gyro stabilization. When I open up the air brakes, it doesn't change the attitude of the plane at all, even when I drop the flaps. So if I drop the flaps and then I'm coming around for my approach, I'll hit the air brakes. Once the air brakes open up, I can see in the OSD, the airspeed, I can see it slow down. And I actually have to give it a little more throttle to keep the throttle up so it doesn't slow down too much. And then when I come in for a landing, you know, the air brakes lets the model slow down enough pretty quickly if I come off the throttle. Gotcha. So it seems to work pretty good. Awesome. I mean, it's not like an instant brake, but it definitely slows the model down a good bit.
So in the beginning, I misspoke a little bit. I said that this was the 8S version. I forgot, and I totally knew that this was 6S because he wanted to do his FPV. So yeah, this is the 6S version, but I mean, sheesh, this thing is cutting up, tearing it up.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna overlay some of the video of his flight from his view so you guys can see, and I'll probably go ahead and pop a smaller view of what he's looking at through the controls also, so you guys have a perspective of what's going on in FPV flight, all the people that are interested in it. And I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about it. You know, it's a very complicated setup, but this is all custom. This is something that you got to be into and love and do. And I know he loves it. I mean, yeah. he sits there. He had 15 flights a day, so that'll tell you. Yeah. You know, it's an addiction.
It sure is, yeah. I do have a video on the setup of this. If anybody's interested, you can direct them there. But I do have a video for the setup on it.
So you guys know I'm all brand new, so the overlays are going to be something new for me also. I've done them a few times, but I'm going to do those on this video for sure. But I'm going to, at the end, I'm going to try to pop that video up where he's telling you about this setup so you guys can click on that if interested.
Yeah.